With a quick wit and dashing good looks, he became one of Hollywood's favorite leading men. Although he could hold his own in action, he looked most at home in a tuxedo with a beautiful woman by his side. Equally adept at serious drama and wacky comedy, he made acting look easy. To many movie fans, he remains the epitome of Hollywood glamour. He is the one and only Cary Grant. Grant was born on January 18, 1904, in Bristol, England. His real name was Archibald Leach, and his desire to be an actor surfaced at an early age. Leaving home at the age of 14, he joined a traveling acting troupe and eventually made his way to America.
I came up to tell you how much I enjoyed your song.
Oh, but you wouldn't fool me, would you, huh?
No, no kidding. All jokes aside. I'm serious. I really mean it.
I must come up on the pillow sometime.
After appearing in several supporting stage roles, Paramount Pictures offered the actor a contract. He took it, along with a new name, Cary Grant. In 1932, Grant's first year in Hollywood, the actor stayed busy, making 7 films. Even in his early supporting roles, he had what one critic called amiable assurance. It was that assurance that caught Mae West's eye, and she cast young Grant in her 1933 feature, I'm No Angel. The outrageously sexy West was a handful, but Grant more than held his own. In later years, Grant would confess he learned more about acting and comedy from Mae West than anyone else he worked with. After spending several more years on the Paramount lot, Grant's contract expired in 1937. Choosing not to sign with another studio, Grant became one of Hollywood's first free agents. At RKO, the young star made a pair of future classics. The first was a comedy about a daffy heiress, a missing dinosaur bone, and a pet leopard named Baby. In Howard Hawks' Bringing Up Baby, Grant and co-star Katharine Hepburn brought the house down. The comedy was a terrible flop in its day, but it now has the reputation as the definitive screwball comedy. Grant was also right at home with rousing adventure. He starred as a British soldier in India, brawling with his friends in Gunga Din. The trio of heroes also find time to battle an evil cult, with the future of the British Empire on the line. The action and the laughs came fast and furious, creating a blueprint that Hollywood adventures follow to this day. With his next film, Grant returned to screwball comedy, starring in the film version of the Broadway hit, The Philadelphia Story. Grant was teamed again with Katharine Hepburn, and the duo cracked up audiences as a divorced couple who just might be perfect for each other.
Someday over the rainbow, way up high.
What is this, Connor? Oh, easy, old man. She's not hurt?
No, no.
Not wounded, sir, but dead.
Seems the minute she hit the water, the wine hit her.
Now, look here, Connor. A likely story, Connor.
Hello, Dexter. Hello, George. Hello, Mike.
And the night that you got drunk on champagne and climbed out on the roof and stood there naked with your arms out to the moon, wailing like a banshee.
I told you I never had the slightest recollection of doing any such thing.
James Stewart was also on hand for the fun, playing a tabloid reporter and winning an Oscar in the process. Things were much more serious for Grant in 1941's Suspicion. In this thriller from director Alfred Hitchcock, Grant plays a man who might be trying to murder wife Joan Fontaine.
Now, what did you think it'd do, kill you? Nothing less than murder can justify such a violent self-defense. I want nothing but to spend the rest of my life with you. And if you were to die first,
If I were to die first.
From that moment on, my life was filled with fear. Thought of Johnny, I loved him too much to really be afraid. But the fear of not knowing, the agony of waiting, of wondering how it would happen, of waking in the middle of the night, shaking with terror, and finding myself praying that whatever it was, it would be done quickly and with mercy.
Although Hitchcock wanted it otherwise, the studio insisted that no audience would ever accept Cary Grant as a murderer. So a happy ending was attached to the film. Grant's co-star also found herself smiling following the film's release. Joan Fontaine won the Best Actress Oscar for her outstanding performance. Grant got some Oscar news of his own, getting a Best Actor nomination for his work in Penny Serenade. As a young couple desperate to adopt a baby, Grant and Irene Dunne both gave outstanding performances in this timeless tearjerker.
Roger. Remember this?
Oh, sure. It's one of those fortune things you got at the beach. I fancy you keeping that.
They're not always the bunk. You said that.
Did I say that? Well.
Sometimes it's like wishes, they come true.
Why, sure they do. Certainly. Well, why didn't you tell me? Why didn't you write me?
You don't like them?
I don't like them? Well, of course I do. Why would I have three of them running around the... And this would be our own. An American kid. Our own.
Yeah.
Gee, that's great.
Oh, Roger. Oh, I'm so relieved.
Well, you funny little redhead.
Hey, what are you trying to do? Shut it off! Oh. Now, what are you trying to do?
What am I trying to do? Well, I'm trying to get your crummy paper out. That's what I'm trying to do.
What's the idea of waking the baby up?
What baby?
My baby.
Your baby?
Yeah. Came last night.
Grant's next one teamed him with director Frank Capra. The frantic comedy Arsenic and Old Lace had been a Broadway smash. The movie version was finished in 1941, but the studio waited until the play finished its run before releasing the film in 1944.
No, I can't. I won't. I can't go through with it. I won't marry you, and that's that. Look, don't you see, marriage is a superstition. It's old-fashioned. Oh. But there's a body in the window seat.
Yes, dear. We know.
Once it hit theaters, audiences enjoyed the laughs as much as stage audiences had.
On stage, girls. Curtain going up.
For his next role, Grant stepped into the shoes of famous composer Cole Porter. In Night and Day, Hollywood told its version of Porter's story. Though it presented the truth by way of Hollywood, there was still plenty of room for Porter's unforgettable songs. It was also a rare chance for fans to hear Cary Grant sing.
You're the top.
You're Mahatma Gandhi.
You're the top.
You're Napoleon Brandy. Do you always kiss women first and speak to them afterwards?
If possible.
Merry Christmas, Cole Porter. You write beautiful music, you're crazy, and you're forgiven.
The film got mixed reviews, but it still received an Oscar nomination for Best Musical Score. In 1946, Grant re-teamed with Alfred Hitchcock for the classic thriller Notorious. Grant portrayed an American agent who enlists Ingrid Bergman to infiltrate a gang of Nazi spies.
I'm sorry to intrude on this tender scene. I knew her before you did, loved her before you did. I wasn't as lucky as you.
Alicia, what's wrong with you?
So glad you came.
I had to. I couldn't stand any more waiting and worrying about you. There wasn't a hangover you had that day. You were sick then.
Yes. Yes, I'm sick.
What is it?
Oh, death.
What is it, dear? What's wrong with you?
me.
In a departure from his usual smiling self, Grant's character here is cold and clinical, using Bergman to catch the bad guy. With unbearable suspense and a famously passionate kiss, Notorious remains one of Hitchcock's and Grant's best. The following year, Grant lightened up again. Starring with Shirley Temple in the farce The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer, Grant gave a typically delightful comedic performance.
Wrong. No, it isn't really Cary's second childhood. Just one of the hilarious jams he gets into in The Bachelor and the Bobby Soxer. You see, he's dream bait for Shirley. He really sends her. But he's wolf bait for Judge Myrna, and she really sends him. On top of that, he's high man on the totem pole, low man in the three-legged race, and a knight in a cast-iron zoot suit. All because he's getting the funniest romantic rib since Adam met Eve.
Now, my father was a bachelor.
Really?
He always said he'd know the girl he wanted to marry when he met her. Well, he met my mother. Put his arm around her, and that was it. You feel nice in my arms.
The film was a smash hit at the box office, and it won writer Sidney Sheldon an Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. Cary earned his wings in the 1947 Christmas classic, The Bishop's Wife. As a helpful angel named Dudley, Grant comes to the aid of Bishop David Niven and his wife Loretta Young. The film was another big hit for Grant, and it received an Oscar nomination for Best Picture. While Grant might have seemed an unlikely angel, his next film put him in an even more outrageous role. As the title character in I Was a Male War Bride, Grant showed off his feminine side. Playing a French soldier who must disguise himself to enter America with new wife Anne Sheridan, Grant cut a grand comic figure.
Yeah.
Well, that was a little better.
Certainly, you see. That could have been even better. Now, the girl, French girl, would have given me some
Wait
cooperation.
a minute. What do you mean by that remark?
Well, you're not being any help.
Oh, and you think a French girl could do better, huh?
Yes, I do.
Do you want to try again?
Do you?
Yes.
Yes.
In 1952, Grant found himself up to his neck in monkey business. In this Howard Hawks comedy, Grant plays a scientist developing a youth formula that works too well.
I've done a lot of experimenting with this kind of thing.
You can come in now, if you're not too busy.
Miss Laura was just showing me her acetates.
It all began when Rudolph, the chimp, discovered the formula for eternal youth that makes people grow younger and younger and younger.
Edwina, what I have to tell you is unbelievable.
Oh?
Oh, well, I'll start at the beginning. Edwina, at 11:52 this morning, I took a dose of the formula. And in a few minutes, I began to behave exactly like a college boy. Well, all set?
Is your motor running?
Is yours? Takes a while to warm up.
Does me too.
Hi, Dr. Fulton.
Hi.
What'd you say to her?
Mrs. Fulton, he said hi.
I heard what he said, you peroxide kissing bug.
Edwina, she didn't do anything.
I'll pull that blonde hair out by its black roots.
Edwina, please. Edwina,
Come
stop
on,
it.
come on,
Miss
come
Laura,
on.
you keep out of the way.
The film is inspired fun, and it proved a wonderful showcase for future superstar Marilyn Monroe. Next, Grant made his third film for director Alfred Hitchcock. A breezy tale set in the south of France, To Catch a Thief is frothy fun, Hollywood style.
Cary Grant and this year's Academy Award winner, Grace Kelly. Two exciting personalities who were made for each other. And now Alfred Hitchcock brings them into very close contact in this perfect tale of romantic intrigue, filmed on the beautiful French Riviera.
Oh, a very strong grip, the kind a burglar needs.
That's why you came out here, isn't it?
The scandalous romance that shocked even the blasé international set between this restless, thrill-hunting American heiress and the notorious man of mystery French underworld called the Cat.
Grant is a former jewel thief pursuing gorgeous Grace Kelly while trying to clear his name. With sharp dialogue and Oscar-winning cinematography, To Catch a Thief remains a favorite of film fans everywhere.
Come down, Robbie, or we shall be forced to shoot!
In 1957's An Affair to Remember, Grant and Deborah Carr made a classic romantic pair. Although both are involved with others, the duo find their attraction to each other hard to resist.
I miss you.
I miss you.
Won't you phone more often?
Oh, I will. Don't go away. Now, couldn't we at least eat together, you know, in my room or yours or something?
The news would be all round the ship before we had our salad. Crew talks to you.
I understand.
Do go round the other way. You're making me dizzy.
I feel better, too. Wait a minute, there's something else I want to say. Now, listen, darling, you know, astonishing. What have you two been talking about?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Can't you think of something spiteful? Something mean that you could do?
Must you be so darn delightful? You make it easy to be true.
Why can't we go on doing this forever?
I had a talk with the captain. It won't work.
Well,
Moviegoers had the same problem, making this soap opera yet another success for Grant. The actor made a rare misstep when he starred in the historical adventure The Pride and the Passion. Set in 19th century Spain, the film matched Grant with international sensation Sophia Loren.
I'm not of your faith. I don't know what sin is involved here. But I'd go through hell twice over to point this gun at the walls of Avalon.
Along with the miscast Frank Sinatra as a Spanish revolutionary, the film did not earn back its large budget at the box office. Grant had better luck when he and Loren re-teamed for the 1958 comedy Houseboat. As a widower trying to raise 3 kids on his own, Grant finds his life complicated by the arrival of governess Loren.
hello.
Oh, hello.
That's right, it's sensational Sophia Loren, and she wants the job.
Oh, now listen to me. She can't stay with us. You know that guest house is too small. We'll be on top of each other. Now, try to look at it from my viewpoint. Oh, no, perhaps you better not.
And so she got the job.
Now, Alan, I want you to understand one thing. I'm getting her for my children.
Adopt me.
Yes, Cary's got the housemaid. Now all he needs is the house. Presto, there it is. The crummiest houseboat that ever plied the Potomac.
Well, let's get off of this
Oh,
junk.
now, come on. Now, take it easy. Now remember, after Chintzia does some cleaning and scrubbing, and a little polishing here and there, it might be quite comfortable.
Who, I?
Grant also hit it big with the 1959 box office bonanza, Operation Petticoat. A delightful comedy about a pink submarine. Both the movie and Cary Grant received honors when it premiered at New York's Radio City Music Hall. That same year, Grant continued his winning ways when he teamed again with Alfred Hitchcock. North by Northwest featured Grant as a man chased across the country by bad guys who believe he is a secret agent.
I'm an advertising man, not a red herring. I've got a job, a secretary, a mother, 2 ex-wives, and several bartenders dependent upon me. And I don't intend to disappoint them all by getting myself slightly killed.
Full of thrilling action and clever comic moments, the film set the standard for every man-on-the-run action movie since.
Hello there.
Tell me, why are you so good to me?
Shall I climb up and tell you why?
And Grant, as always, remained cool under pressure.
I must apologize for giving you such short notice, but my wife and I wondered if you cared to come down for the weekend.
How dare he?
Why, yes, I think I like that very much.
You must be out of your mind.
Shut up and go and sit down.
In 1960, Grant learned that the grass is greener as far as romantic comedies go. He starred as an English earl who must open his castle to the public to raise money. Trouble begins when oil tycoon Robert Mitchum takes a liking to the castle and to Grant's wife, Deborah Carr. Romantic complications ensue, and the all-star cast had a great time sorting them out.
Yes, but you're asking me to attempt to kill you. I find that monstrous.
You're asking me to give up my wife to you. I find that monstrous.
Doris Day was one of Hollywood's biggest stars when she and Grant teamed up for That Touch of Mink. The film was a familiar one for Day fans, as she played an innocent girl pursued by wealthy playboy Grant.
Kathy, I've got to go to Bermuda for a few days. How would you like to join me then?
Did you just ask me to marry you?
No.
With racy dialogue and a great supporting cast, the film was a hit at the box office.
Why would she go away with someone like that?
Who knows? He's a man and she's a woman.
That's the most dangerous combination to turn loose in a motel.
It also did well with the critics, gaining 3 Oscar nominations and a Golden Globe Award for the Best Comedy of 1962. Grant returned once more to fast-paced thrillers with Charade in 1963. Although it had all the markings of a Hitchcock film, it was actually directed by musical master Stanley Donen. The film follows young widow Audrey Hepburn as she is pursued by several men searching for the fortune her late husband had stolen.
So it's goodbye, Alexander Dial, and welcome home, Peter Joshua.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, the name's Adam Camfield.
Adam Canfield?
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Do you realize you've had 3 names in the past 2 days? I don't even know who I'm talking to anymore.
No, the man's the same, even if the name isn't.
No, he isn't the same. Adam Canfield is a crook, and I want to know why.
Well, it's simple. I like what I do. I enjoy my work. There aren't many men in the world who love their work as much as I do. Now, you look around sometime.
Although he was 59 years old at the time, Grant still made a believable romantic match for the much younger Hepburn. In 1966, as the new, more realistic Hollywood films became popular, Cary Grant retired from the screen. But his timeless appeal has never been forgotten. In 1970, the man who made it look so easy was awarded a special Oscar for his unique mastery of the art of screen acting. But then Hollywood mourned a legend when Cary Grant passed away on November 29, 1986. Whether responding with a dashing smile or sealing things with a kiss, he always got the girl too. He remains the perfect leading man. Hollywood will always remember Cary Grant.